She was called the Queen Margaret, and for 20 years she ruled the waves with elegance, speed and strength. But on one calm May morning in 1913, the pride of Glasgow's shipyards met her end, not in a storm, not in a battle, but in the silent grip of a hidden reef. Built in 1893 by Archibald McMillan and Son of Dumbarton for John Black and Company, the Queen Margaret was a four-masted steel barque, 275 feet long and over 2,100 tons, a sleek, graceful leviathan of her time. With a hull of steel and sails that could stretch like wings across the sky, she was one of the last great windjammers, built for beauty, speed and the long, hard voyages of deep-water trade. Among sailors, she earned a rare reputation, not just for her lines and her record speeds, but for the fair treatment of her crew. Black's peerless Queen Margaret, they called her a ship that stirred the heart of even the saltiest mariner. She sailed the world, carrying general cargo to California, grain back to Europe and weathering the treacherous seas of Cape Horn. One sailor from the barque Springburn remembers seeing her tear past his own ship of South America, saying, "It was about noon when she came into view. What a magnificent sight she made! In a short time she was up to us, easing up a point or two to round under our stern, not more than 40 yards from us. If ever any ship topped 60 knots, the beautiful Queen Margaret was doing it then. Despite the shriek of the gale, we could hear the thrash of her as she swept past." This was the golden twilight of sail, just before steam would take over. But the Queen Margaret held her own year after year, voyage after voyage. On the 5th of May 1913, the Queen Margaret was nearing the end of yet another long voyage from Sydney, Australia to Limerick, Ireland, with a full cargo of wheat. She had made it across 2 oceans, only to falter within sight of land. In those pre-radio days, captains had to sail dangerously close to shore to receive orders via signal flags or lights. On that calm spring morning, Captain Bousfield brought his ship close to the Lizard lighthouse, awaiting final instructions. Yet another victim of the infamous Famous for Orders command, which sent many ships to their deaths as they closed the treacherous Cornish coast to signal their owners of their arrival. The Lizard of Cornwall, being the southernmost point of the mainland of England, meant that it was the earliest station at which a captain could signal the owners in those pre-radio days of his arrival. The owner would then order the ship to the port where the best price could be obtained for the cargo. Standing in to read the signal flags, the captain of the ship went too close. The Queen Margaret struck a submerged reef, the infamous Stag Rocks, less than half a mile from shore, south of the Lizard. Signals of distress from Lloyd's signal station were the first intimation to the lifeboat authorities that a casualty had occurred, and the lifeboat, Admiral Sir George Back, promptly responded. On reaching the vessel, the captain's wife and 18-month-old son were placed in the lifeboat and conveyed ashore. The boat then returned to the barque, and as she had taken a lease to port and the hull was gradually becoming submerged, the captain and 4 sailors were taken into the boat. Lifeboatmen were then put in charge of the ship's boat containing the remainder of the crew, 20 in number, and the whole of the men were conveyed ashore in safety. But the Queen Margaret could not be saved. Her cargo of wheat, swelling with seawater, split the hull and burst through her deck. Her masts fell. Within 3 days, the proud barque had broken apart. What remained was sold as salvage for just £50. Today, the rocks of the Lizard still claim ships, and the waves still whisper stories of the sea. Among them, the story of a beautiful barque that once danced across the oceans. The Queen Margaret, swift and splendid, was more than just a ship. She was a memory, a marvel, and a maritime masterpiece.